righty. So by now you are starting to not only get a better understanding within yourself of what connectedness means to you, which is the most important thing. In the last video we discussed some of the ways that our mind and our ego changes our experience and really changes our behavior and our reaction. And one of the most important things for me is that when you live as a warrior, you are constantly fighting to tear away as much ego and as much illusion as possible so you can really look reality straight in the face with no attachment and truly see what's going on. This is perception. And to have good perception, you have to be in a state of connectedness. But let's have some fun on this video. You see, there are some things which in the martial arts are considered very basic, at least in some of them, but which for the rest of humanity and everybody else are considered incredibly mysterious. So I just want to give you some really cool experiences right here, which are going to start to open up channels within you. They're going to create more awareness, and you're going to learn how to have not just a more connected life, but maybe a more fun, interesting life as well, and that's pretty important, right? So if you're not driving or anything like that, I recommend you just stand up and just follow along with me. I'm just going to take you on a little journey, have you have some experiences, and your conclusions are your conclusions, which I think is pretty cool. So stand up and start to breathe. Start to slow that breath down. Breathing in many ways should be almost a cycle when it's relaxed. Slowly breathing in, and like a wave, reaches its maximum and then starts to move in the opposite direction. I used to have a Tai Chi teacher who said that when something reaches its maximum, it becomes its opposite. Think about that. It gives you a lot of insight in things that happen in life. But as you're breathing, when you start to connect with your body and feel where your breath goes, bring your right hand up, spread the fingers and wiggle them. See if you can breathe into the hand down this channel. See if it warms your hand up. Notice if it feels tingly or different. Just notice you can move your breath into parts of your body. To some people this is second nature, and some people have never noticed this before. Now bring your other hand up and see if you can move the awareness and the flow and the blood and the breath to the other hand. See if you can move the feeling up there. Bring both hands up and gradually move that feeling from hand to hand. With your breath. Your breath, in a lot of the Qigong in China, they say the breath leads the blood. In fact, what they say is the intention or attention leads the breath, and then the blood follows the breath. So you might feel your hand as you move energy or breath to it, warming up a little bit. So now take that feeling and see if you can move it up and down your body. So move your breath and all that sensation and awareness down into the soles of your feet. You might feel a higher intensity, more awareness of the ground and the earth. Then maybe breathe in and move that awareness up your legs, into your abdomen, and all the way up to the top of your head. Many classics recommend connecting your tongue to the roof of your mouth when you do this kind of practice. Move it from the top of your head back down to your feet. As you breathe in and out, you might even be able to create a wave of awareness and breath coming up and down your body. As you're working on this, notice how you feel. Are you feeling more tense, or are you feeling more relaxed? Are you feeling more or less aware? Are you feeling better or worse? Are you feeling happier or sadder? I don't know how you're feeling, but you want to notice it. Keep moving your breath up and down, and then back to the hands. Bounce it around. You might want to bring your hands down, and then as you breathe in, allow your hands to float up. And then as you breathe out, let the hands float down. See how that feels. So what I'm having you do right now is just experience this intersection of your breath and your awareness in your body. What else can we do? Well, let's say we move our awareness back down into our feet. Here's a question. Can you go lower than your feet? As you breathe down, how low into the ground can you go? You might be surprised that it goes past your feet. Then bring it up. Once you've had that experience, bring it to the top of your head to see how much higher than the top of the head you can breathe. Have that experience. What does it mean to you? For many people who do this kind of practice, they start to understand that maybe our beingness doesn't end at our skin. Maybe it extends beyond our body just a little bit further. And if it does, when you're around people, how do you interact? There are some health considerations. How are you interacting with your Wi-Fi station, with your TV, with your cell phone? If we're not these linear, finite beings that enter our skin, what are we? Again, that's up to you to consider and decide on. You just have this experience of your breath. And when you finish playing, bring it back to your hands. Let's do one last thing just for fun. Bring your hands together. Just imagine a little ball between your hands. Just imagine it there. And notice if you can feel any resistance between your hands. Some people do this and they start to notice a little bit of magnetism is what it feels like. Resistance, maybe some pull or attraction. Breathe in and make that bigger. How wide can you send your hands and still have that feeling of connection between them? If you were practicing that soft eye technique from earlier in this section, add that as well. In fact, if you want to have some real fun, go outside against a white wall or the sky and use those soft eyes to see what you see between your fingers. Again, totally up to you. But be as observant as you can. Use the soft eyes. Use your perception. And just see what you notice. Take another deep breath in. When you played with all this, and don't just finish on the video. If this is interesting to you, go do more of it. Start to explore your being and your body and how you feel. What in Chinese medicine, what you're effectively doing with moving your awareness and your breath is you're opening up these meridians and these channels, and when you open them up, there's more flow, there's more to you. You're essentially upgrading the wiring of your body to handle more voltage, and when you can handle more voltage, you have more capacity, which is something we're going to talk about in the next section. Breathe and center. Relax. I'm going to bet right now you probably feel pretty good if you've done this exercise. You probably feel like you're connected, calm, centered, in flow. And I'll ask you a question I asked you before. If you felt like this just a little bit more in your life, what would change? If this was a cool exercise for you, I'm really curious. Message me on Facebook, email me, let me know what this did for you. And of course, come back to the next video. We'll dig even deeper into this conversation. I'll see you then.